5,450 square kilometers. That's the size of Sweden's largest lake, Vänern. Not only is it the biggest lake in Sweden, it's the third largest lake in Europe. Located right next to this lake is a place known locally as the Flowering Mountain. The mountain of Kinnekulle offers a stunning natural beauty, and it's one of the most notable places in the country, according to Swedish botanist Carl Von Linné, who used those exact words, albeit in Swedish or maybe Latin, at some point during the 18th century. And it's a place that I wanted to visit for quite some time. So, with just 2 days to spare, it's time to find out what makes Kinnekulle so very special. Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're in Omberg. The station house behind her is probably the tiniest station house I've ever seen. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's nowadays privately owned, so we can't really go in there. Anyways, we just arrived with the train and we're about to embark on a 2-day bike ride around Kinnekulle, also known as Det blommande berget. Okay. Have you been here before?
No, I'm excited.
Hannah has never been here before. I have never been here before. And I suppose you watching has not been here before either. So that's perfect. We get to explore this beautiful place the first time together. Yes. And what wonderful weather we have.
Yes.
Perfect for 2 days of biking. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, in this video we would spend time biking next to Vänern. Specifically, we would bike in Kinnekulle. But what kind of bicycles would take us on such a wonderful adventure? So here's Hannah's bike.
Yes, my new mountain bike. I think it's 26 inches. I don't know more to say because I'm new to this. So we'll see how it goes, I guess.
So here's my bike. It has one wheel, so it's not really a bike, it's a unicycle. It has a thick tire, hydraulic disc brake, and the rim is blue.
You're blue too.
I'm blue too, that's true. Blue. So, with bike introductions complete, join us as we make our way through forests filled with flowers, explore an old quarry. Wow, that's kind of cool. And an even older factory. Have a look inside an old cave where a guy lived for almost 30 years. Can you imagine that a guy and his wife, they lived in here? Bike uphill. And do a whole lot of other things as well. So let's get on our bikes and get started. So now we're on our way. Soon we're gonna head into the forest up here. How are you doing?
Doing great.
That's good to hear. This is a benefit of unicycling. You can use your arms freely, so I can film without problems. Being on a unicycle indeed has its advantages. My hands are free, therefore I can easily handle a camera. However, it also has its disadvantages. I have to constantly pedal, which is a bit of an annoying problem to have, especially while going downhill. Lucky Hannah, coasting on her bike. I'm pedaling like crazy, because I can't coast. She's way up ahead of me.
Hey!
Hey!
It was a quite nice, relaxing downhill, isn't it?
Maybe for you, since you have 2 wheels.
Yeah, it goes quick for me.
It goes quick for me too, but I have to pedal like a madman. Oh my god. The not being able to coast problem turned out to be a bit of a problem. After a few more hills, Hannah disappeared into the distance and we got separated. Hello, what are you doing over there? Well, I'll get to you somehow, okay? After backtracking a bit through the forest, I found Hannah waiting out by the headland. I found you.
Good work. I think because I bike too fast, so I know I missed a turn, but whatever, just go here. And then, look.
It's a nice place.
It's cold.
It's cold. It is, after all, the third largest lake in Europe.
Biggest one in Sweden.
Yeah, so it should be kind of cold. Ooh.
It is cold, isn't it?
It's not the warmest water, but it is kind of nice.
Yeah.
After biking for a while.
Yeah.
To cool down. But now my feet are frozen solid, so I should probably pick them up. So I'm standing now in the largest lake in Sweden, the third biggest in Europe. Very cool. But now I think it's time that we head back on the trail here and head to the harbor over there that we meant to go before. This was a nice detour though, but let's head back on the trail. So yes, we headed back into the forest. Hannah met some cows that she talked to, and after that we had arrived at our first real stop of the day. This is our first real stop of the day. The building behind me here houses some very old equipment used for cutting and shaping rocks, stone masonry basically. And between 1870 and 1970, people would work here and handle the limestone that was mined a bit further up here on the mountain. And then they would process it and ship it out on the lake behind here. This was indeed an old factory. At its peak, around 50 people would work here. Material would then be shipped out onto the lake and headed for destinations around the country. Some orders even made it all the way to Denmark. The factory itself is very well preserved. Unfortunately, the museum inside was closed, so we couldn't really go in there. So instead, we once again headed back onto our bikes and unicycle. From man-made factories, we're now heading towards something a bit more naturally beautiful. And no, this time I'm not talking about my wife, who's currently way ahead of me and she's left me a bit behind. No, we're heading towards a place called Munkengarna, and soon the only thing we'll see will be wild garlic. And if we have managed to have timed our trip here perfectly, the wild garlic may even be in full bloom. And ooh, had we managed to time our trip perfectly, the wild garlic was in full bloom. And the smell, I can't even explain it. Instead, I will let myself explain it. There's just an insane amount of wild garlic here, and it even smells like garlic.
Yeah, it does. It smells a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't translate through a camera very well, but it smells a lot like garlic. It's too bad you can't pick it here.
Yeah, I wish I could, but it's protected here.
Yeah, in this nature reservoir, the wild garlic and any plant really is protected, so you can't pick it. But there's like oceans of wild garlic, and we can't even touch it. We can't eat it. It's supposed to be a delicacy. Yes, no wild garlic for dinner this time, even though it smelled amazing. I really had to control myself so that I wouldn't pick it by accident.
No picking.
I just want to eat it. It smells so good.
Yeah, I know.
I love the smell of garlic, apparently. Now we're sitting on a log here among the wild garlic. The more I smell the smell of garlic, the more I want to pick it and eat it. How about you?
I understand you. I feel the same.
So probably we should get going to our next stop before we do something stupid and end up stealing some wild garlic from here, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So now we're arriving at an old quarry. That should be cool. Let's see how it looks. Wow, that's kind of cool. So, did you know this place is nicknamed Lilla Grand Canyon?
Okay, I don't know that.
Now, neither of us have been to the real Grand Canyon.
No.
But now we're at the Lilla, the tiny one.
Yeah.
Tiny Grand Canyon, eh? Between the years 1882 and 1978, a total of 25 million metric tons of limestone was mined here. Now that may sound like a lot, but in total, that's no more than 1% of the total amount of limestone that makes up Kinnekulle. Grand Canyon. And after hanging out at Kinnekulle's very own Grand Canyon, it was time to head downhill towards our accommodation for the night.
I tried to avoid it.
You okay? So you had a bit of a fall back there.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
You're the strongest woman I know, and you just kept going And now we've arrived here at our accommodation where we're going to stay for the night. So let's go find our room, alright?
Yeah.
So the host here gave us a small envelope with our key and a map. We're staying in apartment number 66-4. Let's find our way to apartment number 66-4.
So we find our room.
Yes, it's in here. Let's go have a look. Oh, there's one more door. You get it.
But it's only us then?
Yeah, it's only us. I hope so. That's cozy. You approve?
Yeah, take off your shoes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so come along for a room tour of our apartment that we booked for one night. It is a very classic old Swedish style. The walls are covered in some old kind of pattern, I guess. It has a sofa, a closet, and here we have 3 different beds. I don't know, I feel like sleeping up here kind of. That would be kind of fun. Or maybe down here, I don't know, maybe Hannah wants to have the top bunk. A table as well, which is always good to have in an apartment. And if you come along here, we have a small kitchen area where it's a bit darker, but here is a small kitchen. In here it's a bathroom where the fan is apparently on. Bathroom, quite spacious, I'd say. So that's our apartment for the night. And for the very fair, and I would say reasonable price of 850 Swedish crowns. We got to stay here for one night. Perfect. So, after the apartment tour, we had a look around. The street we were staying at housed some small craft stores. Unfortunately, they were all closed for the day. So, we headed back to our apartment and the evening was spent playing cards, happily unaware of the very steep hills we would face the next day. The following morning, we saw 7 deer outside our window.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy cow.
I have never seen that many wild deer at the same location at the same time, so that's cool. But now it was once again time to head out on our bike and unicycle. Isn't it wonderful to start out your morning with the worst part of the entire bike ride? The hill up to the top of the mountain. It's a good speed. Keep it up. Come on. Another mountain biker just passed by at blazing speed, going downhill. I can say I'm a tiny bit jealous of that person. We have quite some way to go up here, where we must be halfway there now at least. We're gonna make it.
Shit.
We've resorted to walking. It's just too steep here. If you look behind us, you'll see the lake again now. I hope we're up soon.
Can't talk.
Can't talk, but at the top we're gonna look at the view. And then you're looking forward to the lunch buffet up there, huh?
Yes.
You said before the only thing that keeps you going is the lunch buffet.
Exactly.
To the lunch buffet and the view we go. So we made it to the view tower. Tower's behind us here.
Yeah.
Should we head up there?
Yes.
Let's go look at the view.
Let's go up.
So after struggling through what must have been over 1 hour of uphill biking, we had finally made it to the view tower. And I don't know about you, but I have a feeling that this view will be something really quite special. Now we're on our way up in the tower. Many stairs up though.
More uphills.
more uphills, this time in the form of stairs. Come on. Almost there. Pretty cool. We're up here all by ourselves in the view tower, and the view is well, it's quite something special, I'd say. The view here is really amazing.
Stunning, really. It's like, wow.
Wow was indeed the word I would use to describe this view. The view tower is located at the very top of Kinnekulle. When you're standing in the tower, you're 276 meters above sea level. That's the same height as the top floor of the Eiffel Tower, but in contrast to the Eiffel Tower, there were no croissants for sale here. So that's one of the better views I've seen in Sweden. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Very cool. But now we've seen it, so let's go and eat the buffet food, because I'm really hungry. Are you hungry?
I am.
Let's go and eat.
Yeah.
Lunch was served on the other side of the mountain, and the views here were also quite nice. On our plates were a mix of fish, meat and vegetables, as well as mayonnaise mixed with some fresh wild garlic, meaning that I finally got to eat the wild garlic after all, although in mayonnaise form. The lunch place was popular, and for good reason. The food tasted great. So, with stomachs full, we had a nice downhill section to look forward to, or nice for Hannah. I once again had to pedal like crazy. After making it down from the mountain, we headed through some fields and then into the forest towards our last stop of this trip, an old cave. I can't believe that a guy lived here with his wife for 30 years.
30?
Yeah, between the years 1880 to the early 1900s. He lived in here with his wife all year round because they got thrown out from their apartment and they were going to be sent to the poor people's living house basically, and he refused. So he built this place by himself. And they lived off the land, hunted and farmed all year round. I mean, like the winter time here, I mean, sure they have some kind of stove or furnace, but all the moisture and it must be so cold. Anyways, you know, It's pretty crazy. The last cave dweller in Sweden, they call them Lasse i grottan. Living in a cave for 30 years, that is indeed what Lasse and his wife Inga did. Although at the time they did have some furniture in the cave. There was a bed as well as some chairs and a table. All furniture and other amenities such as the window frames are however long gone. How are you doing in the cave?
Doing great. It's kind of cool in here actually.
There has after all been quite a while since Lasse died in the year of 1910. And here's one of the few pictures remaining of Lasse in front of his very own cave. So now we just have to bike that way back to the train station through the forest.
Yeah.
So this video ends here. Thanks a lot for joining us on our bike ride along and around Kinnekulle.
Thank you for watching.
It's been fantastic.
Yes.
Hej på er.
Hej då!
Yeah, good job. High five.